Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us today for this morning's AMX Exploration webinar to present the newly released 2025 MRE, Mineral Resource Estimate. We're obviously very excited to present the new resource to everyone joining us in today. So thank you for being with us. Before we get started, and hopefully a few more people just join us in the next couple of minutes here, the late stragglers, a couple of formalities and introductions. So if you do have a question, we'll be running a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So you should see a Q&A box at the bottom of the Zoom webinar. If you click on that, type your question in. We'll do our best to get to that in the Q&A session. And if we don't, we usually get a lot of questions come in. If we don't, we apologize. And if you can reach out to us with your question, if we miss it, at the info@amexexploration.com email address, and we'll do our best to get back to you. So some quick introductions. My name is Aaron Stone. I'm the VP of Exploration. And once again, thank you for joining us today. Also on the webinar with me today is Victor Cantore, President and CEO of the company, to talk to you about yesterday's released 2025 MRE. So I will share my screen here and we'll get straight into the presentation. Fantastic. Everyone should be able to see that now. So I apologize for the people that already know the company very well, but just for the people that are new to the AMX Exploration story, I'll just spend 5 minutes quickly on running through the company and the project location, because it's obviously important as well. Obviously, I'll be making forward-looking statements today, which this full write-up can be found on our website, as well as our qualified person and third-party data statement can also be found on our website. So quickly on the capital structure, a bit over 122 million shares outstanding as it currently sits. You can see the 4 analysts that are currently covering us on the right-hand side here. And AMX Exploration does have their Eco Logo certification, which does mean we operate in the mining exploration industry in an environmentally friendly manner. Our largest shareholders, Eric Sprott, a bit over 12%. Eldorado Gold came in for a strategic investment at the beginning of 2024. Obviously fantastic to have Eldorado on board, and their expertise that they bring as a high-grade, low-cost gold producer in the Abitibi to AMEX. So it's great to have their expertise and their guidance on board as well. And management holds 7% also. Quickly, the team here, as I said, myself, I'm the VP of Exploration, and Victor is on us with us today. And if you have any questions on the team, please don't hesitate. So a quick reminder of the property location. Here's the Perron property, smack bang in the middle of the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. So extremely well placed. Every gold dot on here is an existing advanced gold project or gold mine. So we're extremely well surrounded. A lot of running mills in the area, with the closest being the Casa Berardi mine, just 60 kilometers as the bird flies directly to the northeast of us. And as you can see, we're located on the Quebec side, right next to the Ontario-Quebec border. One of the main positives of being located in such a fantastic area is the existing infrastructure that it brings to the property. This is the small town of Normetal that we operate out of, with the drills being approximately only 5 to 7 kilometers outside of the town, so extremely close to this existing historic mining town, which was built for the old Normetal mine. You can see the rehabilitated tailings dam right next to the town on the right-hand side here. Our core shed, everything is located in town. We have access to water, electricity, and the transformer station is right next to the town as well. So all extreme positives that was already displayed in our first PEA, sorry, that was released in November of 2024 last year, and should continue to play an extremely pivotal part in this year's updated PEA, obviously using the updated resource that we've just released yesterday. So very quickly on the basic geology off the Perron property, as you can see here, all of our mineralized zones to date are located within what we call the Beaupré block, which is a rhyolitic dome cut off by the Perron fault to the south and the Normital fault to the north. The rest of the property remains wide open for further discoveries, for further exploration. At the moment, we're currently doing a regional exploration drill program. We're looking at brand new targets in the mafic volcanic package in the Normital South block here to make more orogenic gold discoveries. And the Normital volcanic complex to the north also remains wide open for further gold discoveries and VMS discoveries as well. And just a quick note as well that we obviously do, number 11 is our QF zone. We do have a certain amount of VMS mineralization on the property also that still hasn't been included in the 2025 MRE update, as well as some copper and zinc values in our Donner copper zone and the central polymetallic zone as well. None of the silver has been modeled either, so we're purely have just modeled up the zone, the gold so far. Recently, people would have seen that we've added the Perron West project to the land package as well. So we've increased in size from 45.6 square kilometers to a bit under 200 square kilometers now, 197.5 square kilometers to be precise. And our land package crosses the Ontario border and extends along the same greenstone belt into Ontario, where we're seeing a lot of geological similarities. A quick reminder of the lay of the land of the Perron project. This is where all of our zones are located and where all the drilling has taken place. As you can see, no major rivers, no major lakes. We're not in a mountainous area, extremely flat, so extremely easily accessible. No major environmental hazards to deal with. So should be very straightforward from a permitting prospects and environmental standpoint as well. Now jumping into obviously the main point of today's presentation, the most exciting part is the 2025 updated MRE. As you can see, we now have a vast increase in the M&I, the measured and indicated resources. We're now sitting at 1.615 million ounces at also an improved grade at 6.14 grams per ton, and a inferred resource total property wide of a bit under 700,000 ounces, also on an improved grade at 4.31 grams per ton. So property wide, we're talking in all categories, slightly over 2.3 million ounces in that roughly 5.5 gram per ton range. Nothing has changed in terms of the Champagne zone, which was formerly named the high grade zone, and we've newly renamed it the Champagne zone. Nothing has changed in the fact that the bulk of the ounces do come from the Champagne zone and carries the bulk of the value at the Perron project. We've seen a vast improvement, not only in the confidence of the ounces in the Champagne zone, but also the grade. So we now have 831,000 ounces in the measured and indicated categories at 16.2 grams per ton, and 128,000 ounces at a bit under 10 grams per ton in the inferred category. So a bit shy of a million ounces total in the Champagne zone itself. So this is how the all the mineralized wireframes are looking for the new 2025 MRE, with all of the zones labeled there. And in the top right-hand corner, we can see the constrained resource within the DSO, the constrained stope shapes, and the constrained open pits on the top right-hand side of the image there. What I'll do now, rather than running through the rest of the Verify presentation, I've got Leapfrog Viewer open here so we can have a proper spin around of the model. But just as a reminder to people, the rest of the presentation, which is 3D in nature and can be found on Verify, can be found on the AMX Exploration website, as well as the Verify website under the AMX Exploration page if you wanted to go through it and spin around the 3D model, the pits and the stopes and everything. So right now I'll go over to Leapfrog. So three of the main reasons why we're seeing such a vast increase in not only the total ounce count, but the improvement in the grade also comes down to several major factors, some important ones of which are obviously the roughly 46,000 meters of new drilling that has been brought online has obviously not only added to the ounce count, but increased geological confidence as well. The new way of modeling the system in the 2025 MRE has played a major impact as well. So the tighter wireframing of all the zones has removed a lot of unnecessary dilution that was existing in the previous model. And we're really now focusing on what the Perron project is, which is a high-grade, narrow vein project, especially in the Champagne zone, but also in our other zones on the property. And with that increased, those tighter wireframes and increased level of geological confidence, some of those wireframes have been able to be extended and better filled in certain areas, which has also added to the tonnage on the property as well. So we can see here that all the mineralized wireframes are there, and then we've got the stopes loaded up as well. So I just wanted to quickly show everyone what happens when we go from, because obviously today's resource is a constrained resource. So what it looks like when we go from a unconstrained resources, which is what the mineralized wireframes are, to a constrained resource, which is what the stope shapes are. So I apologize, I have them all loaded on as separate zones here. But as you can see, the mineralized wireframes, once they go through the constraining process, this is what the final product comes out at. So the unconstrained resource, I believe we were at roughly about 2.7 million ounces. And then with the constraining done to that, so we are looking at mineable shapes here that fall under the regulations for reasonable prospect for economic extraction. This is the product that comes out. And then if I turn the pit shells on as well, then you can see what that starts to look like as well. And just to be clear here, all the stopes within the pit shells have been reported as the open pit ounces, and anything outside of the pit shells has obviously been reported as underground ounces. So we've got the Gratiene pits over on the west here, the Grey Cat pits just to the northeast of that. We're able to define a number of pits in the Denise zone area, as well as some fairly sizable pits in the team zone area as well as our latest discovery that was made last year in 2024, the JT zone up on the north side of the Champagne zone here. Some open pits and underground stopes have been able to be defined there as well. One of the largest growth areas in the pits was the Gratiene pit. That's roughly at 200 meters deep now as well. So as I was saying, I'll just show a few examples now of the tighter wireframing that was taking place. And just as a reminder, this was obviously some of the examples that we put in the press release from yesterday. And this is just one example from the Champagne zone, where by removing a lower grade assay on the outskirts of the zone and really focusing on that high grade narrow vein structure, the grade within the block model is being able to better propagate itself throughout the block model, rather than having to be borrowed from that high grade structure, and being able to bring all those blocks into an economic model. So now a lot tighter. Those blocks are a lot higher grade in nature, hence the increase in grade. And another great example of that is our Denise and team zones, which previously we were thinking was better to model as more of a bulk style model to bring bring on, encapsulate all those ounces in that brecciated rhyolite of that system. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the, here we go. And as you can see here, similar to the Champagne zone, we've really focused on the high grade structures within that zone, and that has decreased the tonnage in certain areas, but also due to that higher level in geological confidence, the wireframes have been able to be extended in certain areas. So a lot of that increase in geological confidence as well came from our new resource consultant having many meetings with obviously myself and our geological team on site to really get a solid geological understanding of each and every individual zone that is present on the Perron project. And I'm just showing now another example of where we've gone from more of a bulk style look at the mineralization to really a more concise wireframing that will be a lot more realistically mineable for the upcoming 2025 updated PEA as well. So with today's gold prices, we continue to, obviously our 2024 PEA was already extremely strong, and we expect nothing different from the updated PEA. We expect extremely strong numbers to be coming out of there. So that was a really quick run through of the newly updated MRE for this year. If there are any questions at all, myself and Victor are here on the call now. I'll try and bring up. I think Victor's been monitoring the questions. So if we please go ahead.
So one of the questions, Aaron, is they're talking about the transformer power station. So they want to know, is there potential allocation issues for any mining operations? And I can answer that. That we have been in contact with the with the officials, and there is excess capacity at that transformer electrical station, and that station supports electricity for the town of Normertal, and also 60 kilometers north of that, it supplies the electricity to the Casa Berardi mine. So there would definitely be enough power for our. There's more than enough excess power for our project. Another question was by curiosity. They wanted to know the name change from the high grade zone to the Champagne zone. We really wanted to make it clear that as we're converting from, we're still going to be an explorer. We're always going to be an explorer. We're going to continue, but as we start positioning the company more as a near-term producer, and the obvious area where you're going to start drilling start mining first, and we would do it in a fashion where you would do a bulk sample first, then you would most likely do toll milling, and so that could get you into production a lot faster because there's really no, you're not looking at any of the open pits at the beginning. You're not looking at the mill at the beginning, and there's no tailings management facilities. You would be able to become a producer a lot faster. And the minute you start saying I'm mining the high grade zone, there's the misconception there that people think you're high grading the mine. It's the furthest thing from it. We would be mining which is now the Champagne zone, or formerly the high grade zone, the way you would be mining it normally. There would be no, by current mining methods, there's no high grading the mine. It's just of high grade nature. There's another question there, Aaron. I mean, I think I can touch this one also. There's saying, could a super pit be envisioned that would incorporate many of the 11 zones? So far, what we've done to get an increase in ounces and an increase in grade is actually going the other way, where we've been modeling it as a narrow vein right now, and it's been working really well. It's a lot easier working this way, even from a permitting standpoint of view. I think we can put this into production a lot quicker than doing a super pit. So at the moment, we're going to be continuing along this.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and definitely much easier from a permitting standpoint. And I think in this year's updated PEA, we'll see a lot of similarities with last year's PEA as well, in the fact that we'll be using the open pits to store, to backfill and store the what am I trying to say? The waste from the processing plant. So no need for a TF, a tailings management facility, which will be a huge positive for the permitting process and the environmental side for sure.
So going forward, I mean, going forward, what we're really going to be focusing on also exploration, but definitely you will be seeing press releases coming out as we unveil our plans to put this project in production as soon as possible. Um, Aaron, there's another question here that I think that'll be for you. Does the updated MRE have altered the exploration strategy outlined in your February 20 press release? Oh, sorry. Again, no, I actually no. We're continuing exploring. We've purchased the land on the western side, what we call now the Perron West. Our structural geologists feel it's on the it's on our presentation. They feel that there's another Beaupre block on the other side, a mirror image of it. There's definitely a lot of upside. When you look on our website and you look at the Beaupre block, there's not much of the Beaupre block where you see drill holes. There's definitely a lot of drill holes once we find the zone, because we try to make that zone economic as quickly as possible. But the strategy, definitely the strategy going forward is to convert this into a near-term producer. When you look at the price of gold, when you look at the price of gold, where it is, and we will be able to outline a lot better going forward, our strategy. We're going to unveil it, so it is public. We are going to be moving this to a near-term producer, and that's definitely the path. So it has not altered our plans. We're definitely going forward. A deposit like this, now you can tell that it's very economic. And if I talk a little bit about the deposit, let's say the last one to this one, what's very important to know is that even the last one, I mean, this one is a lot better. It is economic, and it was proven with the PA that this is a mine. It's not that we have to go do another $100 million of drilling to turn this into a mine. You turn this into a mine, you take your free cash flow as you're producing, and then you can get back into an aggressive drill program or exploration program. I do believe there's a lot of ounces. I don't believe that the Perron project has given up all its ounces yet, and we definitely have a good exploration team. And as you understand the project better, that's where when there's a better understanding of the project, that's where things it should make things a lot easier. And even the resource, as you understand the project better, you look at better ways to mine this, better ways to model it. There's a geological modeling and geological understanding of the project as you continue going forward. So we're really excited about it. Like it's really for us, it's a real big change having these numbers, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming PA. We're expecting the numbers to be a lot stronger. You could tell by the amount of ounces that got converted into measured and indicated. That was a big conversion rate. Um, so on my end, I don't know if you have anything else to add, Aaron. There is
There's just a comment here about the ease of access, and absolutely the ease of access is pretty exceptional at the Perron property. We did have the Quebec forestry industry come through in the last year or so, and build a lot of additional roads, and take down a lot of trees after the fires that caused that granted us a lot easier access on areas of the property that were previously we needed a helicopter to go and drill in, and now we have I think over 45 kilometers of new roads to go and explore not only the Perron but the newly acquired Perron West property as well. So the ease of access and the cost of exploration is extremely positive for us as well, and don't require any hot helicopters or anything like that, which can obviously drive up your exploration costs.
Yeah, there's
Um,
another question of ore sorting. Is ore sorting a feasible scenario at Perron? We have and we continue to do studies. When you look at the style of mineralization, yes, it is feasible. We just have to do trade off studies now to see how it's done. But yes, it's very when most of our gold is hosted in quartz. There's a gabbro between the two very rich veins. Those can be easily sorted. We've already been doing Tesla. Whether we do it or not, that's something else. We will update the market whether we do it or not.
yeah, that's right. We've done some very early stage test work on the mineralization, the Champagne zone, and like Victor was saying, geologically speaking, not only is it the highest grade zone on the project, but it's the most geologically straightforward as well. It's essentially two extremely rich quartz veins either side of a gabbroic mafic intrusion, and actually they'd be able to be separated out by density, by the differences in the density between the quartz and the gabbro. So very early stage, but looks positive at this early stage.
Yeah, there's another question here is are you proceeding with a bulk sample, and if so, how will you finance it? We will unveil all that shortly. Yes, we are going to proceed with a bulk sample. We want to put out the press release at the time that we file for the permitting. Financing it is something that my goal is going to be not to issue one share for the on to finance the bulk sample, and there are many ways of doing it, and this will all get unveiled. So, with the price of gold, the way it is, it's something that can be financed. I'll use the word quite easily, but nothing is ever easy. But it's definitely our goal is to finance this without issuing one share for it.
This question's here probably for you as well, Victor. Considering the location, retainment of mining expertise, team, engineers, miners, metallurgists should not be a major issue in the area. Do you intend to build a dedicated mining team?
Absolutely. I mean, Aaron, if you want to bring up the Abitibi, the map of the Abitibi, I
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
want to show that how really we are in an exceptional position. If you if Yeah, that one there. So you see all those yellow circles all around. Those are all mines everywhere. Where we are in Normital, that's where we are in Normital. It's a town of about 800 people. 23 minutes south of there is the town of Lasar with 12,000 residents. Many Lasar residents do work at local mines around there. Um, with the mine that would go up in Normital, you would have residents of Normital, and you would complete filling those posts with residents of Lasar, and you're talking about experienced engineers, miners, metallurgists. And the difference with our project is that you don't need to build a mining camp itself. These workers can actually go home at every single night and be with their families and not have to do a fly in, fly out. People in Normital can actually go home for lunch if they would wish to do so. So I think we're on a pretty good path here with I don't think we're gonna have an issue finding workers based on its location. People can just drive home and within 20-25 minutes. Um, our meetings, so one of the questions, how are our meetings going with Eldorado on a quarterly basis? I have to say they are great partners to have. The quarterly technical meetings go very well. We have every quarter we meet with them. They do help. You look at the Lummac project, it is a high grade nature, just like our project, like the Champagne zone. And it's not just the Champagne zone. I mean, when you look at it, when you look at the mineralization across the average grade, the average new grade across the property is around 5.44 grams per ton. This is really high grade, and it gives us a lot of optionality on how to mine it. And this should definitely be a high margin mine, especially at these levels.
Yeah, the El Dorado team have an exceptional team. A lot of smart geologists, geochemists, geophysicists. So it's always great to get their expertise and their suggestions on board. And they're definitely in agreement with the new tighter wireframing, especially in the Champagne zone as well. And we're definitely in agreement that it's a much better reflectance of the high grade nature of the zone.
So some of the questions here: do you expect to receive a bulk sample permit in 2025? Anytime you talk about permitting, it's very difficult to come up with a timeline. We do expect that, but it's something that's really out of our control. If it's not in 2025, it would definitely be in early 2026. Again, all that will get unveiled. Another interesting question is, if we have 2.3 million ounces and a price of $3,000 US, we have a value in the ground of 6.9 billion. Why are we valued so low? When we put out our last MRE, this is where I say there was a misunderstanding that, with the ounces that we had, even on that one, it is you can't convert that into a mine, even if you wouldn't find one more ounce. And obviously, there's a lot of ounces to be discovered over here. As we unveil our plan, and as we show that we're going to be becoming a producer and a near-term producer, I'm expecting the valuation of the company to dramatically increase. Another question about this is the Perron West adds land across the Ontario border. And again, it's very good land. If you go on our PowerPoint, we do have a few slides on it showing the historical numbers that were there. And planning, and look at the historical numbers. And we also show from our structural geologists on how they think there's a mirror image on the other side. And then they're asking, are there any hurdles in the permitting process? Each province has their own. When you talk about resources, each province has their own permitting. You just have to follow the permitting process of Ontario. Many companies operate in multiple jurisdictions in Canada, including bringing. I'll give you one example. Osisko Mining, when they did their bulk sample, they actually delivered their bulk sample in Ontario at Northern Sun Mining, the Redstone Mill. So yes, there is cross. You can work on both sides of the province. I mean, we're sitting practically on the I believe we're something like 2 kilometers away from the border, from the Ontario border. So the question is the exploration budget for Perron West. Look, we've just recently acquired the Perron West project. We will do exploration on that. We don't have numbers. Are there and yes, there's the other question: are there First Nations impacted, and are there discussions? Absolutely. Like, we've been dealing. Even at Perron, that we're in the city, you're still dealing with the First Nations. You need to get your permitting. It's going to start advancing at the Perron project. It's going to start advancing because in order to put this in production, you're going to need an IBA. That's an impact benefit agreement. We've had a great relationship with them, so I'm not expecting any hurdles. And it's going to be the same thing in Ontario. We're going to be dealing, and everybody will be, again, we believe that if you do things fairly and have agreements where it's win-win, I think that's how you move things forward in a good fashion. Are you still on the hunt and to further expand your land package? If the land package does come available, as long as it's good land, meaning that there's good prospects to find mineralization on it, we're always on the hunt for land, especially land that would be contiguous to us. It makes it a lot more attractive to us. So unless you have anything else to add, I think we've kept everybody for 36 minutes. I think we can call this the end of it. I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us for this. We will definitely do another one right after the PA, and we'll try to update. We'll try to do these a lot more regular, maybe on a quarterly basis to come up and update it. And then basically we would be updating press releases and and giving a little bit more detail than we do on the actual press release. So I want to thank everybody and everybody that has confidence in us and has stayed with us. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we look forward to updating the market in the next couple of months with the updated PEA that we're looking forward to, and a reminder as well with the expanded land package. Also, we're excited to continue making further discoveries, not only on Perron but the newly acquired Perron West property as well. And again, if you had any further questions, please reach out to us at the info at amexexploration.com email address, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us today, and have a fantastic day.
Thank you.